like for you to have is at least one yoga block. If you have two, cool, but have at least one. And then something to support your head when you're lying down will be good. You want to put a little pillow behind your head. And then you might also grab, if you have a bolster, I'm going to be using these two pillows in place of a bolster. So if you don't have a bolster, just grab a couple of bed pillows, and we'll be using those to support the body. Towards the end, we'll do a couple of restorative classes, restorative postures. Okay, so I'll give you a minute to grab those. I'm going to close the chat box now. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So come to a, excuse me, come to a reclined position. You're gonna lie down. And then using your two bed pillows or your bolster, they're gonna go right behind the back of the legs for a little supported Shavasana. And then I want you to relax your arms. They can be by your sides, or you can rest your hands on your body if you prefer a little gentle contact with yourself. And let's start with some mindfulness. So I'd like you to close your eyes. And take a moment now to feel all the touching points that you have with the ground. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Notice any sounds around you. And now allow your awareness to rest on your breathing. I want you to notice the breath as it moves in and out. And allow your attention to travel along with the breath wherever it goes in your body. Perhaps you notice the rise and fall of the belly center, the way the ribs expand and contract. Or maybe you feel the breath right there on the upper lip. Something quite magical happens when we bring our attention to our senses. It's almost as if a little portal opens up, and that portal leads us into the present moment. Now let's use this opportunity to set an intention for our practice. And I thought a nice intention for the practice tonight could be the word surrender. I like the word surrender. Along with that, I also think of letting go. And so if we combine surrender and letting go with the present moment, it's as if we can use it as a way to live moment to moment. allowing the past to be where it is and the future to remain in the future. And just allowing ourselves to live fully in each moment, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say. And so let's vow to live fully in each moment tonight. Surrender to the present. I know it's a little easier said than done, as often our thoughts will pull us into the past and into the future, but that's okay. That's just the nature of the mind, and so we're just going to let it be as it is and do our practice. We'll try our best. That's all we can do. So I want you to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then let's bring our arms a little closer to our sides. You might want to stretch your legs out, just lift them and lengthen them away from you. And then as if you are lying on a beach, you're going to make some circles with your arms, like sand angel circles. Inhale and sweep your arms out and up, stretching when you get to the top. And then exhale and sweep your arms all the way back down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale the arms out and up. And exhale down. Just starting to deepen the breath. Good, 1 more time. Inhale the arms out and up. And this time, keep the arms up alongside your ears. Go ahead and interlace your fingers, and then you're going to flip your palms over to enjoy a little stretch here in the wrists. Now with the palms flipped, go ahead and point and flex your toes too, and just stretch. Good, take another deep breath in, flip your palms back over. And then on the exhale, release your palms and bring your arms down again. You're going to bring your right knee in towards your chest for single knee to chest pose. Roll the ankle a couple of times in one direction and then the other. And then I'd like you to hold on to the knee with just your right hand, and you're going to circle the knee around in one direction and then the other. Bring the knee back to center, and we're going to do a little release for the hamstrings. You're going to slip your hands behind the back of the thigh, and you can interlace the fingers if you'd like to. And then I want you to start by just taking a breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to straighten the leg into the sky any amount. Inhale and bend your knee. Exhale, straighten the knee. Inhale, bend, gentle hamstring stretch. Exhale, straighten. And now keep the legs straight for a moment and just breathe. You're going to gently press the leg into your hands as if you're trying to move the thigh bone away from you. And you can either point the foot, or maybe you want to flex the foot. If you flex and reach through the heel, that might get a little bit more into your calf or into your Achilles heel. Stay somewhat active through the left leg by either pointing or flexing the feet, or just gently pressing the leg into the pillows. And then bend the knee and go ahead and set the leg down onto the pillow. We're going to bring the left knee in now. Single knee to chest pose. And you're going to circle the left foot around a few times in one direction. And then the other. And then hold on to the knee with the left hand and circle the knee around a few times in one direction and then the other, getting some nice movement going in the hips. And now bring the knee to center and we're gonna set up for our leg stretch. So you're gonna interlace the fingers. Now you might interlace with the opposite finger on top, funky finger, just for the sake of balance. And we're gonna be exhaling as we straighten the knee. So I like to start with an inhale and then exhale, straighten any amount. You can start that process of pushing the leg bone into the hands. Inhale, bend, and then exhale, straighten. One more, inhale, bend, and then exhale, straighten, and then pause. And just gently move that thigh bone away from you as if there's some hands right at the front of the thigh. That's just gently pressing the leg into the hands. And then you can either point or flex the foot. You can play around a little bit with that. Maybe you want to turn the foot a little side to side. Just play with any type of little movement here that helps you to release the leg. Activate through the right leg, and also do your best to soften your facial muscles. Breathing in and breathing out. Just living fully in this moment. And then let's release. And we'll straighten that leg out onto the bolster again or onto your pillows. And let's go ahead and take the arms out to the side like a T shape. I want you to take a big breath in, just breathing into the expansion of your arms, your wingspan. And then exhale and relax. Good. And now go ahead and bring your knees to a bent position. Slide your support out from underneath your legs. And we're going to come into a little bit of core work now. So with your knees bent, your feet on the floor, go ahead and place your hands right onto your stomach. And we're going to start with just some squeezing and relaxing of the abdominal muscles to create that really lovely mind-body connection that yoga is just so wonderful for. It teaches us how to do that. So I want you to just inhale and breathe down into your belly center. Just sending the awareness down there. And as you exhale, you're going to squeeze. You're going to just engage. And just notice how when you exhale, if you fully exhale, it helps you feel even deeper into what's happening in there when you engage all those abdominals. Do that again. Breathe down into the belly center and feel it expand like a tiny little balloon in the belly. And then exhale and squeeze. I want you to do that a few more times and just really connect with that sense of strength here. And I love that word, strength. It has so many different meanings. On one end of the spectrum, it means physical strength, right? Muscular strength. Doesn't always mean six-pack muscles. Okay. What really truly matters is an inner strength here. And so you might allow that awareness of strength to go even deeper into words like courage and bravery and stability and willpower. Those are some of my favorite words that I like to contemplate when I'm thinking about my core and about my center. Okay, so let's relax that squeezing and releasing and just let ourselves be for a moment. And we're going to take our hands to the tops of the thighs and the heel of your hand, right where the wrist and the palm are, right in there. I want you to take the heels of your hands and bring them into the hip creases. That's right where your leg bone meets the top of the pelvis. You'll feel like your little frontal hip bones and then how your legs drop right into the hip socket. So I want you to bring your hands right there. We've got our hip flexor muscles there. So you're going to be pressing into the hip flexor muscles gently. And as you press, just think of increasing the pressure slowly from a 0 to maybe a 10. And that feeling of your leg bones being moved away from your body, you might feel that here. Okay? Just getting a nice opening here in the belly center, a nice maybe lengthened feeling in your back. This is a low back traction exercise you can do. It's a more than an exercise, it's actually just a technique. So I want you to send your breath all the way down again, down into the belly, down into the lower back. Exhale fully so you can feel that sweet squeeze of the abdominals. And then relax your hands. And now you're going to keep your hands on your thighs, let go of the pressure, and we're going to come into those yogic crunchies that I love so much. We're going to do 5 total to the center and then 5 on each side. So I want you to take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to peel your head and your shoulders away from the ground, slide your hands towards your knees, and feel that squeeze and pull down of the abs. Okay, the low back is kind of rounding into the earth here. Inhale as you come back down. Exhale as you lift. And as you lift, I want you to think of bringing your lower ribs to the top of your pelvis. So there's a tucking of the tailbone a bit there. And then lower back down. Do 3 more like that. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. It's more about quality of movement here than quantity. We want to try and control the movement so that we can really work into that deep, deep, deep strength. I think this is 5 for me here, so I'm going to go ahead and rest now. I'm going to let my head and my shoulders rest. And now take your right hand behind the back of your head and rest your head into the right hand. Your left arm is going to go straight up into the air, and we're going to be reaching across the body to the outside of the right leg. Okay, there's a rotation that happens in the ribs. We're going to be targeting now these side obliques. So take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, lift with control and reach to the outside of your right leg. The intention there is to lift both shoulders away from the earth. Now, as you do this movement, you might find that the right shoulder doesn't come away from the ground very much at all. Mine certainly doesn't. But I'm going to set that intention that maybe one day I'll be strong enough here to where it will actually lift. Nice, slow and controlled movements. Try and relax your shoulders. Keep your neck long and lift from your heart. Lift from here and from your heart so that the neck isn't straining as it lifts. Okay, and once you do the 5 on that side, you're going to switch. Bring your left hand behind your head. Your right arm is up in the air. And then exhale, lift, nice and slow. Inhale down. And we're reaching the right hand to the outside of the ankle. Five on this side. For me, this is 2. I do this every day, Sian. This is my favorite. I know it's like tough, but I've noticed over the course of a long, long time since I've started doing these every day that I feel so much stronger, and my back feels amazing. It feels a lot more secure. It doesn't feel so tricky and like I could pull my back easily. It feels so much better because these muscles are really supporting my lower lumbar spine. All right, so after we've done that, let's give them a little stretch. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, and then just drop your knees from side to side. Taking a nice little sweet stretch here. This might feel nice after all of that abdominal work. Okay, and you know, I do 5 and then 5 and 5, But as you start to get stronger, consider upping the quantity. Maybe we can move to 10 in the center, 10 to the side, and 10 to the other side for a total of 30. You can kind of set little mini goals because the body loves a challenge. Anytime you can give your tissues, your muscles a nice challenge, they love that. They want to get stronger. Okay? I don't think you can ever be too strong. So come on back to center now. Walk your feet a little closer. If you are supporting your head with a pillow, move it off to the side. And we're going to come into some bridge work. And so it's important that your neck starts in a neutral position, resting the head on the floor. You're going to bring your arms by your sides. Your feet are a comfortable hip distance width apart. Your toes are pointing more or less straight forward. Now, take a breath in. Remember some of that squeezing, that engagement of the core, because as you exhale, you're going to lift your hips and you're going to squeeze in here. As your hips come up, you're squeezing the buttocks as well. The buttocks help to lift the pelvis up. Push into your feet. Inhale as you come back down, nice and slow. Or I forget if it was an inhale or an exhale. But move with your breath in a comfortable way. We're doing 5 total here. Letting your breath guide you. The knees are going straight forward, so they're right in line with your second toe. I like to lift to my shoulder blades and then pause and really focus on pressing into my feet. The balls of the feet and the heels are evenly rooting down. Now, once you get to your 5th bridge, you might pause there. Pause and hold. We did a lot of strengthening for the front of the body. It's so important that we also tend to the back. The back, the glutes, the hamstrings, that all helps to support our body, support our spine. Now, if you want to, you can roll your shoulders underneath you. Maybe you want to bring your shoulder blades a little closer together, creating that extra little lift in the heart. For me, I like to keep my shoulder blades apart. This feels really comfortable. Check in with your neck. Relax your eyes, relax your jaw. Good. And then on your next breath out, go ahead and release, coming down nice and slow. Let your shoulder blades come apart if they were together. And then once the hips are down, just rest for a moment. Just pausing for a little stillness. Pausing for this moment. Good. Okay, and now I want you to grab your yoga block. Take that one little yoga block, and we're going to use it for a little release in the hips. So I'd like you to lift your hips again and slide the block underneath the pelvis on the lowest height. Okay, so that larger flat surface is going to be where you're going to rest your hips. Okay, and once you've got your hips resting on the block, we're going to bring our right knee back in towards our body. And as the right knee comes in, I just want you to pause here for a moment and breathe. This next sequence of postures is a really nice sequence that anyone can do if they've spent quite a bit of time sitting and they just want to feel better in the back and feel better in the hips after being seated for so long. Okay, so we're going to start here with this version of single knee to chest pose, put a little elevation of the hips with the block. And now I want you to remember that center, remember that little hugging in so that you know you're supporting yourself from the inside out. And then you're going to start to walk your left foot away from you, just straightening the leg. And when you start to feel a little stretch here in the front of the hip, you can just pause and breathe. If it feels okay to straighten the leg all the way, that's okay too. You might even want to flex your foot and reach through the heel. You stay here and breathe. Just enjoying this nice little stretch in the front of the hips. And now to come out, you're gonna slowly wiggle that left foot all the way back. Pause. And then set the right foot down onto the earth. And then let's bring the left knee in. And we're gonna stay here for a moment. Just breathe. On the exhale, start to wiggle the right foot away from you, any amount. And you start to feel a little stretch in the hips, the front of the hip especially. Pause and just breathe. Again, you can flex the foot here if you'd like. Taking a nice deep breath in. And then walk the foot all the way back, bending that right knee. And we'll set the left foot down. Okay. And now I want you to stay here for just another moment in this supported bridge. But if you'd like, you could come up onto the next height. Okay, you can lift your hips, flip the block up so that you're on the medium height now. And then just take a moment to be here in supported bridge. Let your shoulders soften. Let your eyes close. And I want you to come back to the belly center. Just feel the way the belly expands and contracts as you inhale and exhale. And just pay close attention to any subtle differences that you feel when you are breathing in and out. When the hips are lifted like this, it feels so much different for me. So I want you to notice if it feels different for you. Letting the feet be nice and heavy. Just allowing for you to have that connection with the earth. Really helps us to come back to a centered, grounded feeling within. Taking another deep breath in into this moment. And then you're going to use the exhale to come up into bridge again. You're going to push into your feet, lift your hips up, slide the block out from underneath you, and then slowly lower down. Pause for a moment, letting your back relax on the earth, letting your hips relax. Really nice. And then from here, take one arm up alongside the ear and go ahead and roll to one side. Pause for peace. And then gently press yourself up. Coming all the way up. And we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. Now, if you'd like, you can take one of your pillows, or you can take your bolster, excuse me, and use it to sit on, just to give yourself something comfy to sit on. And I'd like you to let your hands rest on your knees for a moment and sit up as tall as you can and connect to your sit bones, those two lovely bony bits at the base of the pelvis. And just come back to that idea of really grounding and centering by letting those two sit bones energetically root you into the earth. And grow taller in your spine. Lift up through the crown of the head. Relax your shoulders. And then from here, I want you to bring your arms straight out in front of you. And you're going to interlace your fingers again. And we're going to flip our palms over one more time. We're going to gently press the palms away. little stretchy stretch for our hands, our wrists. Good. As the palms press away, you want to move your shoulders back and down. So there's almost a sense of plugging the arms into the shoulder sockets, creating just a little bit of a widening across the chest. Now go ahead and bend your elbows out to the side. Turn your palms to face down. And then from here, you're going to lift your arms up and bring your palms to rest right onto the top of the head. And now as you rest your palms on your head, I want you to just notice if your tops of your shoulders shrugged. If they did, just let them go. Relax, relax the tops of the shoulders. And we're going to do a little breathing practice here while we keep our arms up, just to help to warm the shoulders, build a little bit of shoulder strength. I want you to keep your hands right where they are, but I'm going to lower mine because I just want to point out where I want you to breathe into. I want you to think of your breath here in your side ribs. When you inhale and exhale, the ribs here, they kind of expand and contract the way that the gills of a fish would move if you are able to picture that in your mind. I want you to imagine that you too are like a fish. And you've got these gills that are just expanding and contracting as you send some nice conscious breaths into the lungs. And while you breathe in and out, you can also smile. Just bring a little smile to the corners of your mouth. Just inviting in some happiness into the mind, into the body, some joy and kindness, just through a simple smile. Good. And now you can open up your eyes and separate your hands and take your arms straight up into the air into a nice wide V shape. Now you can rotate your palms in if you'd like, or you can turn your palms open towards me. But just see if you can be here, holding your arms up into the air. You are strong here, courageous, very centered. You're rooted and grounded in your sit bones. Growing taller, you've got a openness, joy, and love in the heart. And the arms are just reaching up towards the sky. Take another deep breath in. And then as you exhale, go ahead and shake your arms now, shake your hands, and just slowly, slowly, slowly shake it out as you release your arms all the way down. Good. Now, I want you to just circle your head around a couple of times in one direction. Like you're drawing nice big circles with the nose, just to release the neck a bit. And then go ahead and circle your arms in the other, circle your nose. Draw big circles with your nose in the other direction. Take a nice deep breath in, sighing it out. Okay, now let's come onto our hands and knees. And we're gonna bring our palms right underneath our shoulders, our knees right underneath our hips. And we'll move through some gentle cat-cow movements. So on your next breath in, let's lift the heart, lift the head. And then exhale and round the spine. Push the earth away. Dropping the head, dropping the tailbone, just feeling that nice spread across your shoulder blades. And then inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. And exhale and round the spine. Letting your breath guide you, take a few more rounds of cat-cow on your own, just breathing, just enjoying your practice. Invite that smile onto your face at any time, smiling at your practice, smiling in this moment. Finishing up the round that you're on. And then come on back to center. And I want you to make sure that your hands are in a comfortable position. So we're gonna move through a little upper body movement now. And for me, when I go through these little push-up movements, which we're gonna do, I like to take my hands a little wider, and I prefer more of a military push-up where the elbows go out to the side. And so if you want to do chaturanga push-ups, your elbows go straight back, but it really depends on your shoulders today and what's gonna feel right. Okay, I'm gonna go with military push-ups, which means that my elbows are gonna go out to the side. So you're gonna see that as I do this, okay? So I want you to have your hands in a comfortable position, comfortable push-up position. Your palms are open, your fingers are spread wide. And you're gonna shift your hips back towards your heels. Keep your arms nice and straight. And then come forward and do a push-up. Lower down. Shift back, hips towards heels. Come forward and do a push-up. And we're just gonna go back and forth here as many times as we can. I want you to go until you feel fatigued, okay? Let this be more about quality of movement than quantity. If you're feeling discomfort in the wrists, you can make fists and do your push-ups that way so that the wrists are straight. Always move from your center, so make sure your abs are really strong here as you lower down and push up. I'm going to do 5 more. So you keep going. You go as many times as you need to. Okay. Now I've completed my 5, so I'm going to shift back into a child's pose. You shift back into your child's pose when you're ready. Once you're in child's pose, let your hips really get heavy. Let them soften down towards your heels. Relax your arms now. Let your shoulders be heavy. Bend your elbows. And let that forehead rest on the ground, or as close to the ground as it can make it today. Soften. Breathe. Okay. And now come on back up to tabletop pose. And you're going to bring your hands under your shoulders. And I want you to straighten your left leg back behind you. And once you've got the left leg back behind you, you're going to zip up your midline. And you're going to spin the left heel down towards the earth. And we're going to come into a side plank. Okay, so as you come into your side plank, the left hand's going to peel away from the earth. You're going to bring it nice and close to your body like you're pulling a bow. And you're going to take the left arm straight up into the air as you open up to the side. And now go ahead and circle the arm alongside the ear and down. Breathing in, the arm comes out. And breathing out, we circle it down. Nice circles here. That left leg is nice and strong, pushing into the length of the right shin bone. Good. Bringing that left arm all the way down to the earth. And you're going to set the left knee down, and then we'll switch sides. The right leg goes behind you. You're going to spin the right heel down to the earth. And really think of sealing the outer edge of the right foot to the ground as best you can. It's getting really centered there with that leg. And then as you're ready to, you're gonna push down into the left hand. Lift the right arm up into the air, opening up into side plank. And then with your breath, circle the arm down and up, and down, and up. Just flowing with your breath. Really trying to smooth out the edges. And then go ahead and release. Left hand comes down to the earth. And let's go ahead and come into a downward facing dog. And we'll walk our hands forward. Shift the body weight forward, shoulders over wrists. Curl your toes under and then push the earth away. Lift your hips all the way up and back. Arms are nice and straight. Taking that tailbone straight up into the air. And then setting that intention of letting your heels reach towards the earth. And it's okay if they don't touch the ground. Feel free to pedal your feet. Maybe you want to alternate bending and straightening each leg. Maybe you want to shift your hips side to side. Any movement here you want to do. Good. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, come on down to your hands and knees again. Keep your toes curled under. And you're going to sit your hips back onto your heels. And we're going to do a little stretch for the toes. Now, I remember you have something, I think, in your toes. Maybe it's a little arthritis or something. I think I remember that this is a very painful thing for you. So don't feel like you have to keep all of your weight bearing into the toes. If you want to bring your hands to the earth and just kind of shift forward and back, you know, just kind of giving yourself just a tiny little taste of weight into the toes, just to give them a little bit of stretch. That's okay. Just kind of testing the boundaries a little bit here, but not overdoing it so we don't injure ourselves. All right, and then you're going to point your toes and you're going to tap your feet into the ground. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, very nice. All right, and now from here we're going to come into a short restorative practice. And so I would like for you to grab your bolster or your makeshift bolster, 2 pillows, and you're going to start in supported twist. Okay, so you're going to bring your bolster towards the back of your mat. If you're using the 2 pillows, stack them neatly, one on top of the other. And then I'd like you to take a seat with your left hip right up against the bolster. Your feet are right out in front of you. And you're going to walk your feet over towards the right, let your knees come down, and then turn to face the bolster so that you've got your hands one on either side. And then from here, start to lower yourself down onto your support, and then let your arms rest by your sides. Well, once you get here, I want you to let your legs relax. Have your head turned to face the same direction as your knees. Relax your arms by your sides here, right alongside the bolster. And surrender. And take a nice deep breath in. And just feel your breath move up into your back body. And as you exhale, let your arms get heavy. Let your chest get heavy. open up to this possibility of fully receiving the support of the pillows, of the bolster underneath your body. And just think of each and every breath, especially the exhale, as a point of surrender for you. Each and every one, we're letting go. Letting go into this moment. And then this moment. And then this moment. As you soften a little deeper into the twist, perhaps there's some grip in the legs or in the hips that can be softened. Perhaps we can let go somewhere in the face. Maybe it's in the eyes. Maybe it's in the cheeks. And if the thoughts begin to come, if you start to notice thoughts, maybe a little bit of time travel, that's okay. Just recognize that you are somewhere else, somewhere other than here. And then gently bring yourself back to this moment. And then I want you to gently press yourself up. And you're going to turn and bring your right hip up against the bolster. And your legs are out to the side. And you're going to turn and then lower yourself down nice and slow, coming into a supportive twist on the other side. Letting that support be there for you again. Just letting the back relax. Feeling the way the lungs can massage the muscles of the back. And then go into each moment as it comes. Relaxing the eyes. And taking note of sensation in the body. Noticing how much you can let go into this moment and then this moment. And now you're going to gently press yourself up again. And you're going to turn so that your back is, got the pillows bolster behind you. And you're going to lower down into a supported heart opener. Okay, and as you come to lie down onto your supports here, you've got the option to either keep the knees bent or you can straighten the legs out. I want you to be really, really happy here. If you feel like you need a little extra support underneath the head, go ahead and place the bolster, place an extra little pillow or something right behind the back of your head. Just make sure that you are really happy here, really comfortable. If you'd like to pull a blanket up over your body now, that might also be really nice. And now close your eyes. And allow your body to sink down. Allowing the skin to melt away from the muscles. And allowing your muscles to soften away from the bones. And allowing the bones to get heavy and release. Completely letting go. Relaxing the eyes, the cheeks, relaxing the jaw, and feeling a nice sweet sensation of release as it runs across the forehead to the ears and down the sides of the neck. Letting the shoulders get heavy, the arms and legs completely surrender. Now a short reading from this wonderful book. Letting go means just what it says. It's an invitation to cease clinging to anything, whether it be an idea, a thing, an event, a particular time, a view, or desire. It is a conscious decision to release with full acceptance into the stream of present moments as they are unfolding. To let go means to give up coercing, resisting, or struggling in exchange for something more powerful and wholesome, which comes out of allowing things to be as they are without getting caught up in your attraction to or rejection of them, in the intrinsic stickiness of wanting, of liking and disliking. It's akin to letting your palm open to unhand something you've been holding on to. Sometimes letting go means recognizing what it is we've been holding on to so that we can let go. Gently and ever so effortlessly, we will now let go of this practice. And so just bring your awareness to your fingers and your toes. Give them a little wiggle. And then bend your knees and bring your feet to the ground. And you can roll to one side, just rolling off of your supports. And come on up to a comfortable seat. And then join your palms together at your heart space. And we'll close our practice this evening with a single Om. And taking a nice deep breath in. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your precious practice, joining me this evening. It was so lovely to have you. I've got my chat box open again if there's anything you want to say before I say goodnight. You're welcome. I'm so glad that I was able to meet your needs tonight. And I hope that you have a really lovely evening, and I look forward to seeing you again right here, virtual yoga world. Oh, I wanted to ask you, how are your bees? Are your bees doing okay? Well, I'm going to assume that you've signed off. Oh, there, I got your message. Okay, they seem good. I'm going to try and harvest honey this weekend. Awesome. Very, very cool. That's exciting. The honey that you gave me that one time, that was delicious. Your bees they're good workers. Alrighty, well, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night and have a great weekend. And I'll see you soon. Good night.